Welcome once more to our video tutorial. My name is Chigomana MD. This time we're going to look at topic 6, which is titled error handling. We're going to look at module 1. Now, what is this error handling? One other thing that you must know is that every time when you are busy programming, you are going to encounter errors. Now, that is why I'm saying error handling are inevitable. Therefore, all that you have to do is to understand and try to minimize them. That is why debugging is part of programming. That is why debugging is part of programming. Therefore, if you are programming, of course, if you are a real programmer, you will encounter problems. We are going to discuss how to trap errors and then try to give the user some useful information as to what is it that the user must do in case there is an error. Let us look at the kinds of errors that we may encounter. There are two major errors here. We have the runtime errors. In other words, these are the errors that will occur, especially when the program is running. And there are what we call compile errors. These are the errors that will occur when during design time. In other words, when the user is still busy programming. Now let us look inside the compile errors. What are some of the compile errors that you can encounter? Right, inside compile errors we have what we call syntax errors. We have what we call syntax errors. Now let me explain something here about syntax errors. Syntax errors are easy to find and fix. And there is this so-called logical errors. These are difficult to find, and these normally are found during runtime. During runtime. In other words, when the program is running. Now, let me explain this further. I'm saying syntax errors are easy to find and fix because they happen especially when you are busy programming. And then these logical errors are difficult to find because most of the time they happen during runtime error. In other words, when the program is running. Right, let us look inside logical errors. What is it that we have inside logical errors? Now, inside logical errors, in other words, inside errors that happens especially when the program is running, we have what we call calculation errors as well as conversion errors. Now, what is it that causes logical errors? That is a $64,000 question that one must ask. Now, a logical error occurs when the logic of your program is incorrect. In other words, when you are programming, there must be an order that you must follow. This happens especially when there is what we call incorrect program design, making changes to your program, wrong order of your program, when you forget to reinitialize your program, incorrect variable types, forgetting to redisplay information in text boxes. That is something that you have to understand. And another thing that I want you to note is that a computer cannot detect logic errors. A computer cannot detect logic errors. Instead, you are going to get an incorrect answer. Now let us look at syntax errors. Now this occurs when you break the rules of programming languages. Now Visual Basics will display a message that is telling you what is wrong. Now this happens especially when you forget to declare your variables and when you forget to declare the variables as the variable as an array. Now let us look at how to correct this. In other words, we're going to look at debugging techniques. Now, debugging techniques are the methods of correcting errors during design time. Now, we have the following types. We have the trace tables. We have the compiler debugging tools. Make sure that you correct the spelling. We have what we call watches. We have stops, and we have control breaks. In other words, these are the debugging techniques that are found on your IDE. In other words, on your integrated development environment. Now that is the end of our first module. Let us meet in our second module.